In the previous video, I showed you how to install plugins, and we did end up installing Jetpack, but we did not activate it. Jetpack is a plugin that contains all sorts of enhancements for your website, probably more than you actually need, but there are a lot of things that you probably will want to use using the Jetpack plugin. I do want to review how to activate Jetpack, and I'll just go over briefly how to use some of the features, although I won't be able to cover everything because there's just so much you can do with it. The first thing you'll notice is when you click on the button to activate Jetpack, you're going to get a message that Jetpack is almost ready, and that you need to connect or create a WordPress.com account in order to enable Jetpack. WordPress.com is the blogging portion of WordPress. It's a place where you can sign up for a free blog, you can network with other bloggers, and you can keep all your blogs in a neat little RSS reader. It's free, but if you want to incorporate other upgrades, you'll need to pay for those. WordPress.org is the alternate for people who don't want to have so many restrictions that WordPress.com requires. Remember, WordPress.com users are kind of renting space for free on the WordPress.com servers, and there's rules. The biggest one being that you cannot install custom plugins and you can't display any advertising or affiliate links, things like that. So WordPress.org is that open source, not-for-profit, free version of WordPress that allows you to incorporate all sorts of customization. With WordPress.org, you will actually host the website. You'll have your own domain name. Everything is going to be controlled by you. But if you want to have additional features and site statistics and email and subscription widgets and shortcodes and all these different things, they're really handy things that you can incorporate into your WordPress website that you're building. But if you were to create a website on WordPress.com, you would be limited and you wouldn't be able to install any of those plugins, so you just have to use it the way it is. So Jetpack is a toolbox or a container of a bunch of mini plugins. So instead of having to install like 30 additional plugins, you could just install Jetpack and it's all kind of controlled over one plugin. So getting back to activating it, you need to connect to your WordPress.com account. And even though we're using the WordPress.org, like we've downloaded it, we've installed it on our own server, we still have to have that WordPress.com account in order to use Jetpack. So I'm going to click Connect to WordPress.com. It's going to take me to WordPress.com, and here I'm going to need to either sign up and create a WordPress.com account, or if you already have a WordPress.com account, then you can actually sign in and you can continue. So if you don't have a WordPress.com account, you're going to need one if you want to use Jetpack. If you already have a WordPress.com account, then you can go ahead and sign in. I already have one, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. And once I've actually signed in, then you can see that it's completed the connection process, and now this website is going to be associated, or I have the ability to approve. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. By approving this, you are going to share details between WordPress.com and your website. So know that that is the price you pay to use this particular plugin. I'm going to click approve. And once you've done that, you should be returned to your website, and you can see that now it has let me know that I'm ready to jumpstart my site, and I can enhance my site by using the Jetpack features. One other change that happens in your version of WordPress is that you will have a new menu item called Jetpack. So Jetpack actually has its own menu item. So now I've activated Jetpack onto my site. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to review and find out what modules are available and turn on and off the ones that I may want to incorporate into my website. I can click Activate Recommended Features, or if you want to learn more, you can learn more about it. I'll click Learn More, and it's going to give me a list of the recommended features that Jetpack is going to want to include. I believe Jetpack has about 30 different features to choose from. I'm going to just cover some of them and talk about why you might want to incorporate them. One of the most popular ones is the carousel, and what this does is it allows you to turn your WordPress image galleries into an easy to scroll through carousel, so that when users click on photos, it would show you a multitude of photos. Another option that is included inside of Jetpack is the contact form. So this is yet another way that you can include a contact form quickly and easily into your website. Now, in one of the previous videos, we did include the plugin Contact Form 7, so we're currently using that on our site. This is another way, though, that you can include a contact form. I'm going to go ahead and skip this step so I can show you and talk about some of the other options that are available. Here I am at the Jetpack dashboard. The first thing that you'll see is that you see Jetpack also includes site statistics. Now, I'm kind of in development. My website is a fictional website, so it's not actually live on the web, so I don't really have any site stats. But if your site is live, you would actually see statistics. So this is a great way that you can monitor what's happening on your site, who's visiting it, things like that. There's a lot of data that you can sift through, and this is just a really quick, intuitive, easy read site stats, and it actually will give you the stats in real time, which is great because it gives you great feedback on who's viewing your site, what time of day they're viewing it, things like that. You can see that one of the things that's turned on by default is the security setting. If you want to learn more about this, you can go ahead and click the security setting, and this is going to give me more information about the different sites of security settings that I can include. Some of these do have pro versions, and the pro versions are going to require some sort of payment, but usually Jetpack does have free options that are going to be available for you as well. I'm going to click my dashboard link to go back to the dashboard. So security is turned on by default. We want that. And the other settings here, you're going to want to look through and find out if they're helpful to you. I'm actually going to go to the Jetpack setting link, and this is yet another place where you can find out the different features that are part of Jetpack. They have been grouped into categories. So General has all of the general Jetpack features. Notifications is helpful because it'll give you notifications in your admin toolbar. If you're using the JSON API, it allows your applications to access the content through the cloud. If you want more information about any of these things, you can go ahead and click the down arrow and it'll give you a summary of what these are about. I'm going to turn off this feature, and you can see that it lets me know that this has been deactivated. I'm going to go to engagement. And you can see that site stats and sharing and publicize are on. I don't want to have my related posts or comments or likes on. I'm going to turn off the Gravatar hover cards for right now. Subscriptions allow users to subscribe to your posts and comment and receive notifications by mail. Sitemaps is great because this allows you to ensure that your site is search engine friendly. It goes ahead and creates an XML file, which is excellent for search engines. Enhanced distribution is a way that you can just increase your traffic, and we have site verification that's been turned on as well. Here are the security settings. If you see anything that says upgrade, this is an option that has additional features that you might need to pay for if you want to incorporate those onto your site. I am going to turn on my carousel because that's a feature that I want to use. Extra sidebar widgets is turned on, and I'll show you what this looks like in a couple of minutes. Customized CSS is a great way that you can customize your CSS without actually modifying the theme. It's kind of what you would do if you were creating a child theme, but it makes it a little bit easier. Jetpack does have a mobile theme, which makes your site mobile friendly. If you're using an actual mobile theme, though, you probably don't need this, but again, you might need to incorporate this. And then you can see that there's a falling snow that shows up during the holidays. We also have a writing section, which is going to give you information about things that you can do, written things that you can do. So some of these are turned on by default. I am not going to turn on contact form because I'm already using contact form 7. I do like the spelling and grammar, which checks your spelling and grammar for you. And custom content types are a great way to organize and display different types of content on your site. So let me show you what Jetpack has actually done. We're going to go to Appearance and we're going to go to Widgets. And I don't know if you recall what the widgets looked like before, but you can see that now I have some additional widgets that are available because of Jetpack. So I can add images to my sidebar, I can add RSS links, I can add a Gravatar profile, social media icons, Twitter timeline, all kinds of additional things that I can now incorporate into my widgeted area. This is nice too, the blog subscription, which allows people to easily sign up from email. So currently, if we look at our website, our sidebar has this information about who we are, and then we have information about our recent posts. If I go ahead and I add a blog subscription, I can invite people to subscribe to our blog via email, and it has some preset text which you can obviously change if you want to. I'm going to uncheck show total number of subscribers, and I'm going to hit save. If I've saved this and I go back into my website and we refresh the front end portion of website, you can see that now I have an area where users can subscribe, and if they click subscribe, they're going to be prompted to fill in their email address, and then they can subscribe to our blog. This is really easy to do thanks to Jetpack. I encourage you to look through your website if you did install Jetpack and check out some of these additional items that were installed courtesy of this particular plugin. I do have to warn you that if you install Jetpack and you turn on all of the different options, you might find that your website starts to run a little bit slowly. If that happens, the first thing you need to do is, I would encourage you to go into your plugin area, go in and find Jetpack and simply deactivate it. You're not going to change any of your settings, you're just going to temporarily turn it off. See if that speeds your site up. If it doesn't, then what's possibly happening is maybe you're having a conflict with another plugin that you've already installed. So you're going to want to deactivate all of the plugins and then slowly add them in one by one. I would wait about an hour before you turn on additional plugins just so that you can see if the site actually does speed up. So this might take some trial and error, but you need to be aware that sometimes some of the plugins don't always work together quite so well. So just keep that in mind as you start to add additional plugins.